Sweet. Hello, YouTube. Let's put you here. I think I can read that easier. Okay. Oh my gosh, there's already people in here. That's wild. Hello. Or there were. There were 3 and there's 2, so somebody was here on accident. Okay, hi everybody. If you're new here, I do live on TikTok and live on YouTube. So there's 2 of you. We're talking USWNT national team who are playing Australia in just 30 minutes. So, okay, looks like people are coming in on TikTok, and I've got a couple in on YouTube. So if you didn't already see the starting lineup is the same as it's been for each of the matches, except for the change, of course, of Tierna Davidson is out with Emily Sonnet in. Tierna Davidson is still injured. Emily Sams has replaced her on the roster. I don't think we're going to see Emily Sams sub in, just like we haven't seen Cora Bethune sub in. I was really team rest and rotate. Team rest and rotate would have been nice. I think we're going to be tired, and it increasingly looks like if we come out of the group in first, we play Japan. So, Sonnet to bring the chaos. Listen, I think it'll be fun, but I want to see other people play. I don't think Bethune's coming in, no. Which, again, I don't really understand, because Emma Hayes has said publicly she doesn't think she's ready. And it's like, why did you bring her? I feel like I do the same rant every time. Why? Got it from Marta. Yeah, so if you didn't see it, is it me or is she yelling? I don't know. I might be. Is my volume up higher than usual? I might not be able to hear myself, so I apologize. But I can try to take it to a normal volume. Who are we talking about? Well, we were talking before about Cora Bethune, but we can talk about Marta, which is what I was going to move to talk about. So, Marta, red card, if you missed it, in the end of the first half. So, bummer. Greetings from Ecuador on YouTube. Hi, William. Good to see you. Love to see that for YouTube. But yeah, Marta, red card. It was a high boot. It was a red card. I don't think there's really any dispute. So, right now, if this result can hold, they'll get out of the group in third, but they need to make it through to the next round before she plays. Obviously, with the red card, she's got to sit the quarters. So, hey, Matthew over on YouTube. What do we think of the starting lineup? I wanted to see us rest and rotate. I just wanted some rotation. I'm a little bit nervous because, I get it that you want this starting lineup to really gel and get more time together, but also it's like, maybe not. Maybe not. So we'll watch the game with you. No, I don't do that generally. I do this. I'll come talk to you before, I'll come talk to you at halftime, I'll come talk to you after. Tiffany, thank you for the rose. I don't watch during the game because, frankly, I'm a little impolite. I'm seeing a lot of folks here worried about the lack of rest, both on YouTube and on TikTok. So, and again, I'm live both places, so hang out with me wherever you prefer. And by the way, on YouTube, I'm only a couple subscribers off of being able to actually monetize. So feel free to subscribe over there if you haven't already. I'm always appreciative. But why not Hal? I don't know. I would have called in Hal. I think your depth issues at the midfield with Sonnet being pulled to play defense are a little rough. I don't think if something happens to Coffee, you've got a great alternative there. So I would have liked to see how Hirschfeld personally, but maybe Emma's got a game plan that we don't know about yet. So unless she makes subs immediately in the second half. Yeah, I could see making subs immediately. Oh, and it looks like Spain just scored. So it's the one downside with this match time today is we're going to have, obviously there are matches going on both during this live and during the post-match live. So to the extent you wanted to see me doing thoughts during a match, you will kind of get it here, but I'll be mainly focusing on just talking about this one. Let's see. Thoughts on Sam Coffey? I mean, I think she's a good player. I think she's pretty good at the 6. I just think that role can be really challenging. So thank you, Caitlin, and thank you, Cass, for the roses. Appreciate you both. I would have brought in Hal Hirschfeld. That's what I would have done. So yeah, I see Spain scored here. Which 3 points may still be enough to get Brazil out of the group. We're just gonna have to wait and see. Who comes in if Sonnet needs off? I would assume you're gonna slide Casey Kruger centrally. I would assume. Let's see. Do you think she pulled the team and they wanted to play the first half for consistency? No, I don't think she gave the team a say. Absolutely not. What are the chances Canada makes it through if they win? If they win, they're pretty much through. I think it's actually a certainty they're through. The way their group shook out. So if they win, they go through on head-to-head, I think, again, in second place, mind you. So I don't think Davidson's out permanently. I expect to see her back next game. It's just a bone bruise. So, those can just be a little painful for a few days, but, she'll be back. Yeah, so Canada had their deducted points. Canada also dismissed their appeal. So Canada was deducted 6 points. So if they beat Colombia, they will have won all of their matches. They would have 9 points without the deduction. Colombia will have only, in the event that Canada wins, will have only one match, and that's against New Zealand. So with the deduction, they will both sit on 3 points. The tiebreak will go to head-to-head, and Canada will advance in second place. So Canada actually, like, if Canada wins, Canada's through. So although somebody said that only Colombia controls their own fate, but maybe I'm just misunderstanding the head-to-head stuff, but I think they're through. What time is the game Pacific? USA plays at 10 a.m. Pacific. You can watch Canada-Colombia at noon Pacific, which I think is going to be something to watch. Let's see. Spain just got so close again. I know. Brazil was holding out, and like, now that this went, I just don't see it. Like, you know how, maybe you don't, but it's like if you're playing down a player with a red card, and like you're holding on, and then like once that floodgate opens and you let one in, it's like, shit. You know what I mean? So, let's see. Is Brazil out if they lose? Not necessarily. I think they still have a win. So, and I think third place in 3 points. One of the 3-point teams in third place will get through. It just depends. Yes, we did, Riley, find out the yellow card accumulation rules. So it is 2 yellow cards and you sit a match, and they don't wipe until after the quarterfinal. So yes, there are folks in danger of sitting, which would be a great reason to rotate Sam Coffey out, please. So thoughts of Caroline starting. I'm happy to see her back. I still find the whole thing confusing, but I'm happy to see her back out there. I don't know that it's looked like it was worth it so far. The U.S. Women's National Team games at 10 a.m. today, West Coast, 1 p.m. East Coast. You can find it on USA, I believe, or on Peacock. Did I see the emails from Canada's coach? Yes. What happened with Abby Dahlkemper? I mean, like, look, her injury was about as rough as they come. Like, I'm very familiar with that back surgery just because I see it a lot in personal injury cases, which is a lot of what I do law-wise. But it's a rough surgery. It's not easy to come back to playing a sport at a high level. So, like, the fact that she was back at all was always a surprise to me. But I think she's playing well. I just think there's been some drop-offs. So there are people better than her. And I think even pre-injury, there was always a lot of speculation that Tierna Davidson was going to displace her. So, that's just kind of how it goes. So, let's see. Do we know Australia's lineup? I think we do. They just had one change. Van Egmond is off for... who was it? Torpy? Davidson's not back today. No, Davidson is out. Kim, I gotta look back up which back surgery it was. I can't remember if it was a discectomy or a fusion. I'm pretty sure she had a fusion of some sort, which was really surprising. Let's see. Thoughts on Shaw? I mean, I think at this point, I'm a little bit confused why we brought her. Like, you're 3 games in and she wasn't a starter, like, to begin with on this, and she's not well enough to play. So I'm kind of just wondering why you brought her. Thoughts on Arsenal signing Netherlands starting goalkeeper Ben Domslaar, I think is how you say it, but I haven't done my pronunciation research and I should have. That's been widely rumored for a long time. So I'm not super surprised. Obviously, I'm excited because I don't think Zinsberger's that good. So I do think it's an upgrade. When does it start? 10 a.m. So close. So we're coming. Yeah. Let's see. Score predictions. I mean, I don't know. Australia needs a win to watch. I mean, they don't necessarily need a win to get out. They could end up getting out in third place with 3 points. Probably. I mean, the way this is shaking out, they very well could get out. So, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Chaos, thanks for the bear. I feel funny about this game. I don't know why. I think Australia's played pretty bad this tournament. If they come out like that, even us, like, energetically funky and with really, like, pretty much already out the group for sure, and with first place very much in reach, I think we could still wallop them pretty good. But I really hope, for Australia's sake and for Australia's fans' sake, I hope they come out and show us more than they have before. Because if they play the way they played the last 2 games against the U.S., and especially against the starting lineup, this thing is going to get really ugly really fast. So I hope it's better. Am I surprised no one's resting for the U.S.? Mia asks on YouTube. Yeah, I am very surprised. I would have liked to see rotation here. But I think a lot of folks are theorizing we do it at halftime, and I could see that, and that makes sense. Let's see. What needs to happen for Australia to make it out of the group if they lose? So I think it just is all on tiebreakers because I think every other group's third place finisher is going to end up on 3 points. Unless Brazil comes back here. So it's just going to be different tie breaks. So I would have to look at the specific scenarios and see. It's going to depend on like goal differential, all this other stuff. So let's see. How early do the subs come on? I hope they come on at halftime. I hope we're not messing around with this. They play at 10 a.m. West Coast, 1 p.m. East Coast, 12 Central, and then 11 Mountain Time. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, Spain's changing goalkeepers? Okay. All right. I didn't see that happening. Thoughts on Marta's red? Brutal. Brutal. It's, I mean, not brutal like in the sense that it's not a red card. It was a red card. It's very clearly a red card. But yeah, rough way to go out because Brazil, if they advance out of the group, and they still could, they got to get past quarterfinals before she plays again. So it's a bummer. Will I watch the Canada game? Yes, I cannot wait to watch the Canada game. I will have the Canada game on while I'm talking to all of you post the other game. Sonnet is starting, yes. How do I think Tierna Davidson not playing is going to affect the game? I mean, I think, I'm less concerned about it against Australia because I think Emily Sonnet actually does a pretty fine job at center back. I don't think her distribution is as strong as Tierna Davidson's, and I think the size issues are an issue, depending on who you match up against. We are actually not a particularly tall team. Tierna Davidson is our tallest player on the field generally. So, I think that size is an issue if we play another tall team. But Australia, not a team I would say is tall either. So, what happens if the U.S. loses? We still advance. So, we are through already. So, if we lose, just depending on how the other games go, it could impact what place we advance in. Which, right now, if we advance in first, it looks very much like we're playing Japan, who looks good. So, let's see. Thoughts on Rose Lavella's tournament? I thought she's been great. I think she's learning to play a little bit differently as well because her preference is generally to be creative on the ball, and she needs to find ways to use that creativity other ways. But I think it's been good. So, yeah, Alana Kennedy could be bad. Yeah, they have a threat, right? I mean, we still have, but the thing is, like, you got Haran in there who can take care of that at least, right? So as long as you still got Haran on the pitch, you got somebody of size. But Alana Kennedy's a threat on quarters. So, any negatives with Emma Hayes asking from the UK? Too early to say, really. I have no complaints so far in the experience. What happens if Australia loses? Australia could advance still. So, because 2 of the third place finishers will advance to the quarterfinals, and it looks right now like every third place finisher, unless Australia beats us, every third place finisher is going to have 3 points. If Australia were to beat us and Germany wins against Zambia, then you've got 3 teams have 6 points in our group. So, Trin is tallish. Yeah, I would say Trin is relatively tall, but I don't see Trin doing a lot of aerial work yet. Fox is not that tall. Fox is 5'7" playing height. So she presents as tall, I think, because I've gotten that about Emily Fox quite a few times, and I'm like, that's not a tall. But Trin, I think, is closer to 5'9". So, let's see. What team has looked the strongest so far? Canada. So, setting aside the cheating to the extent you can, setting aside the drama, they look great. They look really great. But I think it's still Spain is top of my power rankings. I think France looks very good, but the drop off from the starting to the next batch is rough. Japan increasingly looks good. Okay, Brazil's got a break here. Let's see. Can they get back in it? No, they can't. Too slow. Oh well. Rodman's 5'10" playing height. But also tell me when you've seen Rodman be an aerial threat in some way. Or do something aerial defensively. I have not seen her utilized in that way. So Spain doesn't look convincing to me either. Do not disagree with that. I think Spain looks beatable. But we will see in the next round. Is Brazil playing a low block? I don't know that I'd say that. But, right now it looks like a low block. Yeah, I guess you could say that. Lynn's height is good as well. Do you think the U.S. beats England at Wembley? I think everybody makes a shit ton of money, and I'm happy for them. That's what I think about that friendly. So, why play Rodman and Coffee? If they pick up yellow cards, they will miss the quarterfinal? Great question, Christian. I don't know. I do not know. I would not have done it. But here we are. I expect them to be subbed off early. I'm sorry, YouTube. I'm catching up on you all. Mary asked any updates on Canada's appeal against the point deduction. They actually dismissed the appeal. So they did not get a decision. I think probably because they were afraid of it getting worse if they left the appeal. So they dismissed it. Olivia asks, do you think the lack of chemistry between Gurma and Sonnet at center back will be a problem? Not necessarily. I actually think they're doing okay. Or at least they were last game. So we'll see here, though. We'll see. I think last game was a much more challenging test, and I don't expect Australia to be able to threaten the same way. Let's see. See, like, that's the thing, Lynn is 5'7". I'm like, some people just present as tall. Like, I think of Lynn Williams as taller than Trinity Rodman. It's an interesting thing. And also playing heights are all over the place. So sometimes you see somebody that says they're 5'7", and then you see somebody else and it says they're like only 5'4", and then you look at them both and they look roughly the same. So, let's see. Who do I think scores in the U.S.? Oh, give me our three forwards again. I think we got to get Trent on the score sheet today again. I mean, Sophia's been cooking, Mal's been cooking. Just let them all do some more. Why not? Let's have a good time. Let's see. Fox is 5'4". I think her playing height. I think she lists as 5'7", or does she list as 5'4"? I've seen her listed as 5'7" somewhere. Or, like, there's literally, like, a beach volleyball player that I was looking up the other day, and it was, like, some places had her as, like, 5'10", someone else had her as 6'1", somebody else had her as 6'4", and I'm like, what is height? This is an objective thing. This should not be this difficult. Let's see. Oh, you have a lunch meeting at noon? Well, this game's at 10 a.m. West Coast. I don't know where you are, AB, but yellow card for Brazil's coach. I didn't see it happen. Let's see. Brazil coaching and roster is questionable. I do not disagree. I think they have rotated. I think this midfield they're playing today is a stronger midfield. And it's the midfield, for the most part, other than Caroline, that they played the first match. But I don't really know why they rotated it against Japan. Wouldn't have done it. Trin said she was 5'7" on IG Live last year. Okay, see, that's about what height I would have thought she was. I think that's what I said. I think she said she was 5'7", 5'9". Earlier somewhere in there. But yeah, 5'7" makes sense to me because I don't see her ever doing anything of note aerially. How tall is Sonnet? 5'6". Like, and that's, as is Gurma. So that is about as short as I think you can reasonably be as a center back. Like, anything else is, like, very undersized. And having two at 5'6", it makes me nervous. I don't like it. So, where will the U.S. be trying to exploit weaknesses against Australia? Well, I mean, if Australia plays as fatigued as they did, I think just make them run because they're a step late to everything. What is defense has been kind of Australia's theme of the tournament. And we've got a front three that's just been cooking. And they're playing well together. They're having fun. They have good chemistry. So I think if I was, Australia's weakness is right up the middle. I don't have a lot of positives to say about Australia in this tournament right now. I don't. So I think just let the front three have a good time. So, how worried am I about the yellow card situation? I'm a little worried. I just sub off the yellow carded players at halftime, please. What do you think about Emma not sitting any of the front three? I would have rotated. I would have liked to see some rotation today, but here we are. Do you think Australia will sit low? No, I do not. I think they're going to come out like kind of guns blazing to the extent they can. Let's see. What do I think about Johanna's not being on this roster? I would have very much liked to see her here, but I also get it. And if she's 16, it would have been an alternate. I don't know that that's a good fit, but I want to see her in the program. I think she's the best, like, true box-to-box 8 type midfielder that we've had in our program in a very long time. She is the second coming of Sam Mewis, and she might even be better. I think she has a higher ceiling than Sam Mewis, which is saying something because I think Sam Mewis is the best midfielder we've had. Spain coach just got a yellow. Yeah, this match seems to be devolving a little bit, it looks like. Corbin in for coffee, do you think? I think at some point, yeah. Probably. Let's see. What's my favorite nickname for the front three? I haven't picked one. None of them have quite stuck with me. I kind of like Destiny's Child. I think those memes are funny, so like that's cool. The person who said SSRI was funny. It's like because they make me feel better. It's like true. That was good. Powerpuff Girls is fun. Like there's a whole bunch. Let's see. Trifecta's good. Do I think Jenna would be good in this game? Yeah, let Jenna in. I mean, they're not going to play defense anyway, so, like, let's just go attack and score a bunch of goals. I think Hal could be a great 8. I think Hal is a great 8. I think Hal can play the 8 and Hal can play the 6. I would have liked to see her get more time. So, what's going on with Spain and Brazil? It looks, listen, I've got it kind of over here, so I'm not watching it like as closely because I'm talking to y'all, but it looks like it's kind of devolving is what's happening here. So, but they seem to be returning to the pitch now. Looks like there's been some yellow cards. There's been some injuries. There's just been some stuff happening. Let's see. I know I would like to see more of Croy too. Everybody would. Brazil looks tired. Don't disagree. And Jenna versus Rosso would be fun to watch. That would be fun. Those two can, again, both just run up the flank and not play any defense. It'll be a good time. Is Spain beatable? Yes. Ideal subs. I just rotate anybody with a yellow card needs to come off. Just get them off. And then we'll deal with it. Van Egmond is not starting. So she's still there. And I frankly don't think Van Egmond has had a great tournament. So we'll see if this helps. I don't know if it will. Let's see. What do I think about the Spain coach? I don't think she really adds anything here. I mean, she's still kind of one of, Jorge Vilda's lackeys that still got to stay, so they could be like, we hired a woman. But at the same time, it's always going to be an issue where she was kind of like set up to fail in some ways. So I'm glad that at least that hasn't been the case, so that they can't be like, well, we can't hire a woman. Look what happened when we hired the last one. So, yeah. The game, I guess the U.S. game is at 10 a.m. West Coast, 1 p.m. East Coast. It's starting in about 9 minutes. So I feel like the Spanish players could just coach themselves. I do not disagree. I think at this point, that's how it goes. Yeah, Fox versus Ford's going to be fun. That should be a good matchup. But Ford's been tired too. She's gassed. Like, she's tired. This whole team looks tired. If they look less tired, I'll be surprised. I think Mary Fowler has generally had good form for Australia. I thought she was kind of a breakout star of the last World Cup. But I can't say anything positive about really anybody for Australia at this tournament. It's been bad. I think they look tired. I think, like, every time that team has to travel, it's a lot. So just with the time zones, they've put this team through the ringer, and their club teams have not been helpful either. And, like, look, I get it. You want to capitalize on the momentum you built with a pretty successful World Cup. But, they're tired. They're going to run out of steam at some point. And unfortunately, they're running out of steam here at the Olympics. So, let's see. And no Sam. Yeah, but they played most of the last World Cup without Sam. So it's not like they can't do that. Does U.S. look like the best team so far this Olympics? Not the best, but I put them in the top 4. When I do my longer form on my podcast or on YouTube, I've been ending them with my kind of 12 rankings of the teams, and I keep meaning to carve that out and put it on TikTok as a shorter bit, but it hasn't happened yet because unfortunately my real life work has been a little chaotic. So I've been kind of doing just these lives. So yeah, good vibes to Sam Stott. I know. Yeah. Do I think Press will go back on the national team? No, I do not. Wait, I have a podcast. It's just Casey's on the Case. Yes, I do. It's linked in my bio. You can go find it there, or you can watch it on YouTube. And I am only a few subscribers away on YouTube from monetizing. And then you have to skip ads, which is annoying for you, but at least it gives me some money. Not that this is my primary income, so no stress. Y'all don't ever have to stress about that. But it does incentivize me. It is a dopamine hit when I get paid for doing any of this, even the small stuff. Oh, Kimberly, thank you. I appreciate that you're loving the podcast. I cannot wait for my co-host to come join me when that actually happens. It's just been, my schedule really has been all over the place, so it's been hard for us to sync up. I think it'll be better then because we can bounce off of it, and I think we have a pretty good balance of soccer knowledge and views, so it'll be fun. Press is supposedly coming on for Angel City tomorrow. Yes, I saw that. She's coming off of the SEI tomorrow and will be available for selection. So we will see. Number 2 podcast in Kenya. Yes, Riley, thank you. Number 2 soccer podcast in Kenya. It's me, Casey's on the Case. Also number 4 soccer podcast in New Zealand. I have no idea how these metrics are decided or what's happening, or if there's got to be some weird, maybe I'm just the only one that's actually properly categorizing their podcast. I don't know, but we'll take it. So Thank you to everyone in Kenya and New Zealand for the support. Oh, thank you, Caitlin, for subscribing. Appreciate you. Gotham roster is full. No spots for any SEI players to come off. Who do they release? I have to go look and see specifically. But yeah, I think the thing is, they got a lot of SEIs, so I don't know who's coming back in. I hit 1K on YouTube. Oh, amazing. Okay, thank you all. I really appreciate you. Okay, yes, Soccer Twins on YouTube is also telling me I hit 1K. So yay. Okay, that helps. Now I just got to get the viewership hours thing to calibrate, but I think I'm there. It just has to it takes a week to calibrate. So cool. Well, thank you all. I appreciate you. What's an SEI? That is a season-ending injury. It's an official designation on rosters within the NWSL. That means that you do not take up one of the 26 roster spots, nor does your salary apply toward the salary cap so long as you are SEI. Once the SEI designation lifts, you come back onto the 26-player roster. Your salary counts against the cap again. So there's two different ways you have to make space as a team if an SEI player comes back. Ready to watch our girls? Yep, I'm ready. 16 minutes? Oh my God. It's not even a fun match to watch. I don't want 16 more minutes of this. Does anybody want 16 more minutes of this? I don't want, it's not fun. It's not fun. Let's see. Thoughts? I thought England didn't like their players in NWSL. Thoughts on Carter? I think that viewpoint is changing, maybe a little bit. But I also think Carter, I think Carter wanted to be with AKB. Let's just put that out there. I also think she's a fantastic fit for the NWSL and fills a lot of needs for Gotham. Versatile player, can play center back, can play out wide. That frees up Sonnet for you to go do other things and be in the midfield where I think Sonnet's best. So great signing for Gotham. This is a player I think will do very well in the NWSL, Carter. Esme Morgan's over here now too, and I also think she'll do well in the NWSL. So we will see. Their playing styles both really thrive here. Canada could advance. Yeah, Canada advances with a win, basically. They got to cap extra time. Completely agree. So let's see. Thoughts on San Diego Wave starting? Cascarino. Yeah, I didn't get to make a video of that. The 69 was a choice. Can we all agree with that? And I love that San Diego had to put out a bunch of stuff about it's homage to Leon. It's not. I was just nice. But I'm okay. So Cascarino's been kind of coming back. I'm not the most massive fan. I think she's good. I don't think she's had a great season at Leon, but we'll see what she does for Wave. I'm a little bit more curious to see what happens with their coaching situation than I am exactly how she's going to get implemented. Because, obviously the Maria Sanchez signing was exciting, and then, it hasn't gotten better. So, how did Marty get a red card? It was a high kick. It was the correct call. She came in, cleats up, for a ball high with a player running in. You can't do that. It's a red card. So, and if they do get out of the group, then she's got to sit next match. So and thus far, I don't think I've got Brazil winning a quarter. We'll see who the matchup is, of course, but it would surprise me. So that's probably it for Marta. Let's see. Brazil, Spain's ridiculous. Yeah. Let's see. Have I ever met the women's national team? I've met several players from it and at various different vintages. I have not met this particular vintage. So, yeah. 14-year-olds in the NWSL makes me uncomfortable. Yeah, I think it's too young. And I say that as somebody who played, with adults when I was 15. So I'm pretty general, and I had a positive experience, and I'm generally pretty pro us getting teens into the league. 14 is just, it's young. And I'll tell you too, when I was 15 and I was playing, it's I had to call my mom from Sweden to ask how to boil water. Okay, so I did not have life skills. And for probably the first couple months, anytime I had to cook for myself, it was butter sketty. So that's what happens when you send children away to do this kind of stuff. But yeah, it's hard. There's a lot to unpack there. We can do a longer conversation on that. I will not be traveling to see Chelsea or Arsenal play. Just because in my eyes, once I'm on the East Coast, I might as well go to London. I might as well just go to, and I love London. So, but for me, from the West Coast, it's if I'm going that far, baby, just give me a couple more hours. Let's go to Europe. So, but I've been trying to cook this up. I'll just tell you all what I had planned. It hasn't happened yet, but we got to go for the match. But I'm trying to organize a trip to go watch Arsenal in London with anybody else like-minded. So stay tuned. We're still working on it, but that's kind of the hope. All right, y'all. The match is going to start shortly, so I'm going to get out of here. I will be back with you all at halftime. I will be back with you all post-match. Let's fucking go. All right. And YouTube, you know I say bye to you last. So thanks again for the support over here. I really appreciate y'all. Let's fucking go. See you at halftime.